Hi friends, today I'm going to do a sink or float activity with you. But before we do that, we're going to talk a little bit about why something sinks or floats. If something sinks or floats, that's based on how dense something is. Can you say dense? Everything is made up of these little tiny parts that we can't see. And the closer together those parts are, the more dense something is. And the more apart they are, the less dense that is. We're going to put these items in this bowl of water to find out if they're more or less dense, or if they sink or float. If something floats, it's going to go on the gray plate. If something sinks, it's going to go on the orange plate. And next, you guys are going to make some predictions or say what you think is going to happen. So first, I'm going to put this little squishy penguin toy in the water. Now, what do you guys predict or think? Is it more dense than the water and it's going to sink? Or is it less dense than the water and it's going to float? Let's put him in the water and find out. He floats! He's less dense. So he goes on the gray plate. Next, I'm going to put a Power Ranger in. So what do you guys think? Sink or float? He sinks. He's more dense than water. So he goes on the orange plate. Next, I have a paperclip. So what do you guys think? Sink or float? Oh, that one sunk too. And here I have a wooden block. What do you guys think about that one? More or less dense than the water? It floats. It's less dense. Next, I found this leaf outside. We're going to find out if that sinks or floats. It also floats. Here, I have a little tiny Shopkin. What do you guys think about that one? Sink or float? More or less dense than the water? He sunk. He is more dense than water. Next, I'm going to put a crayon in. It also sunk. More or less dense, guys? Do you remember? It's more dense. Oh, here's a quarter. What do you guys think about this one? Do you think it's more or less dense than the water? Is it going to sink or float? That one sunk too. It's more dense. Last item is a stick that I found outside. So what do you guys think about this one? Do you think it's going to sink or float? It's floating. That means it's less dense. Now, let's count how many items sunk and how many float. Here's the items that floated. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of our items were less dense than the water and floated. Here are the items that were more dense than the water and sunk. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Friends, how fun was that experiment? If you want to do it at home, just ask an adult.